Fox Sports.
Live from Houston at Minute Maid Park, it's the opener of the three-game series between the Houston Astros and the Pittsburgh Pirates. First of a six-game homestand for the Astros, who just returned from a road trip in which they were 4-6. The Pirates have won their last couple series. And good evening, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim DeShays. The Astros begin a stretch of 27 straight within the division tonight, JD.
And it starts with the Pittsburgh Pirates, currently in last place, but playing a little bit better baseball lately. They've won 2 consecutive series for the first time all year.
Our Jaguar key matchup will show you a Lincoln, and it's brought to you by the 2011 Jaguar XJ.
Now, Brad Lincoln, Brazoswood High School, University of Houston. 6th Major League start comes tonight. Good fastball, outstanding curveball for the former first-round pick of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Last time out, 7 shutout against the Cubs to record his first Major League win.
Wandy Rodriguez has won his last 2. That ERA low for those 2, JD.
Well, and last time out, perhaps his best start of the year. 7 innings of one-run baseball against a very good lineup. It came in Milwaukee. He did it all. He got down a squeeze bunt. Made a heck of a play here in the field. A little pump fake move, then back to third base to nail the base runner now. So Wandy's starting to build momentum. 2 good ones in a row. He's been good against the Buccos in his career, especially in this ballpark.
And in this ballpark tonight, it's Jason Castro getting the start behind the plate for the Astros. The Pirates like to run. Castro likes to throw out base runners. That's one of the matchups you'll see coming up next. By the Progressive Insurance Group. Now we are just about ready for the Pirates and Astros. Pirates have won 4 of their last 5 games after they had dropped 19 of 22. They lost 17 in a row on the road. And as the train moves into position, the Astros hope they could keep that road problem situation going for Pittsburgh. Pirates come in with a road record of 11-32. With this batting order, Jose Tabata, the leadoff man in left field. Neil Walker's at second base. It's Andrew McCutchen in center field. He thought he might be an all-star this year. Garrett Jones is the cleanup man at first baseman. Pedro Alvarez, good-looking rookie at third base, bats fifth, followed by catcher Ryan Domit, right fielder Lasting Spillage, shortstop Bobby Crosby, and pitcher Brad Lincoln.
Well, Wandy Rodriguez goes to the mound tonight, feeling pretty good about things, I would assume, as you take a look at his last three outings. June 18th against Texas, he got cuffed around pretty good, but since then has pitched well, beat San Francisco, no earned runs allowed in 6 innings, has done 7 very good innings last time out in a win at Milwaukee. 5-4 lifetime against these Pittsburgh Pirates. Defensively, the Astros set up with Lee Bourne and Pence across the outfield and infield of Chris Johnson, Angel Sanchez, Jeff Keppinger, and Lance Berkman. Jason Castro will put down that number 2 for curveball quite a bit tonight with Wandy on the hill.
We just got a release that Jeff Blum is scheduled to undergo surgery on his right elbow tomorrow morning. And we'll know more about how long he'll be out after that surgery tomorrow. And Wandy Rodriguez faces the leadoff man, Tabata, 21 years old, from Venezuela. He was a Yankee until traded to the Pirates. There's strike one to Jose Tabata, 245 hitter, 1 homer, 6 runs batted in. Traded in the big multiplayer deal, along with others for Xavier Nady and Damaso Marte. Karstens and McCutchen, 2 pitchers coming along with Tabata to the Pirates in that deal. It's no balls, 2 strikes to him.
And Goldendorf was in that deal too.
1 and 2.
You know, the Pirates obviously a very young club, a very inexpensive club. And those payrolls in all of baseball. You know, they feel like they have a pretty bright future, though. Whether it's next year or 2-3 years down the road remains to be seen. I'm guessing the latter. But if you're on the verge of your 18th consecutive losing season, I guess you can be patient.
Yeah.
As long as you're showing signs of improvement, and they do have some talented young players now in this organization.
Curveball softly hit. Jeff Keppinger looks out to Hunter Pence, who dashes in and slides in right field, makes the play. That's a pretty exciting first out of the ball game with Hunter Pence sliding for the catch.
Yeah, a little scary play, a little half swing by Tabata, and Hunter looked like he wanted to sell out on this one, but wasn't sure how far Keppinger was going to come, so he had to kind of keep a wary eye on Keppinger. And great concentration there as he goes low to make the play. Please don't knee me in the forehead while I catch this ball. We're just getting started.
Now Pittsburgh native Neil Walker, a switch hitting infielder, takes, and there's strike one to Walker, who was pleasantly surprised with a .294 average, 3 homers, 12 runs batted in. Walker was a multi-sport athlete in high school in the Pittsburgh area. He was a wide receiver and defensive back at Pine Richland High School. Born in Pittsburgh, and his father Tom pitched in the big leagues and also was a first-round pick, as was Neil.
Yeah, he had a number of family members who played professionally. An uncle, his sister played or still plays, I'm not sure, but I know she played some professional basketball in Ireland. Very athletic family.
She went to Wagner College, played basketball there. In the air outside the first base line, Lance Berkman chasing and reaching and can't quite make that catch.
She played for Killarney. That had to be fun.
Well, Neil was the 11th player drafted in the 04 draft. Lance had a long run for that one.
He made a play on a ball similar to this the other day in San Diego. Very similar looking play. This time he just makes that adjustment a little late, comes up a little bit short.
Neil Walker was drafted as a catcher in the 04 draft, then moved to third base. And this spring he came in as a utility man, and that's really proved to be helpful to the Pirate organization since he's now settling in at second base. Alvarez at third. Walker takes, and he does draw a walk.
You have to. Your name's Walker. You got to be patient.
So Wandy is a base runner now. It's his 37th walk in his 89th inning.
I would think he would want to get traded to the Rangers, so he could be Walker, Texas Ranger. And that's a given.
That's a fit. Andrew McCutchen, an exciting 23-year-old center fielder, has hit very well against lefties. Second best batting average in the National League against left-handed pitching, 375.
I think it's fun to be a Pittsburgh Pirate these days. They're not winning a lot, so that's never fun. But have a bunch of young guys all playing in the big leagues together, guys with apparently high ceilings, a lot of promise.
John Russell saw his club get a lot younger last year with some deals that were made. The appeal went to first base. The swing was checked. It's 2-0. Jeff Kellogg's the home plate umpire. Jeff Nelson at first. Well, this guy, McCutchen, hit 286 last year. He hit a dozen homers for that man's club, John Russell, with 54 driven in. He stole 22 bases last year.
Could easily have made a case for McCutchen to be on the All-Star team.
Berkman gives chase to this one, and it's back out of play. Their All-Star representative is relief pitcher Evan Meek. There you see the first-round picks of the Pirates.
Yeah, Alvarez, Lincoln, McCutchen, Walker, Lastings, Millage, not drafted by the Pirates, but he too a first-round pick. Domet was a second-round pick. Crosby, when he came out, was a first-round pick. So a lot of, quote-unquote, high-ceiling players now on this roster. See how it all shakes out.
McCutchen was the 11th player drafted in the 05 draft. Multi-sport star, Fort Meade, Florida High School. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Baseball, football, and track in high school. He hit 709 as a senior and was player of the year in Florida. Worked his way up, and last year earned a lot of playing time for this club. He is outstanding at tracking down balls in the gap. That is where he ranks in batting average against lefties. Wandy mesmerized him with a curveball, got him out in front a little bit.
And he's got very good numbers against left-handed pitching, good on base, good slugging. Certainly capable of stealing a bag for you. Really dynamic young player.
Both these teams have really struggled to hit their way on. Pirates are hitting 237, the Astros 236. The Astros have scored 20 runs more than the Pirates, but Houston is 15th and Pittsburgh 16th in runs scored in the 16-team National League. Brad Mills' club really struggled against that vaunted San Diego pitching staff, being shut out twice. And it's 3-2 now. Perhaps Walker will be moving on the pitch. Walker has 2 steals in 4 attempts. Castro has thrown out 6 of 9. He made a couple of laser throws in that San Diego series, put it right on the corner of the bag at second.
McCutchen has struck out 56 times this year.
Runner going, and it's ball 4. Back-to-back walks bring up Jones now.
A club that doesn't hit a whole lot of home runs, doesn't hit for a high average. You don't want to open any doors for them by giving them free passes.
Garrett Jones, formerly an outfielder, settling in at the first base position, leads the Pirates in homers and runs batted in with 10 and 50. He's hitting 276. Turned 29 on June 21st. He's from Harvey, Illinois. Last year he hit 21 home runs for the Bucks. Toward right center, a long run here for Michael Bourne. He's in position, makes the catch easily, and gets it back in for out number 2. And Michael not only got there, but he turned his shoulders toward the infield, so Walker held at second base. '23-year-old Pedro Alvarez, a real star at Vanderbilt University, was the first-round choice, second player drafted overall in the 08 draft. Signed for $6 million. He's hitting .210 with 2 homers, 9 runs batted in. Fouls it back.
They got off to a very slow start when first called to the big league. Since then, has turned it around. He's homered in his last 2 ball games.
His first career homer on Saturday off the Phillies' Kyle Kendrick. It's no balls, 2 strikes. Alvarez is working on a 7-game hitting streak right now. Did not homer for his first 54 at bats, but lately he's gotten it cranked up, as JD mentioned. Wandy gets him on strikes to end the first inning with no runs, no hits, and 2 men left on walks. No score. Astros come up in the bottom of the first with the Mercedes-Benz Astros starting lineup, showing you Michael Bourne in center field. Jeff Keppinger at second base. Lance Berkman's the first baseman. The cleanup man is left fielder Carlos Lee. With Hunter Pence in right field, Chris Johnson at third base, sizzling on the last road trip. Jason Castro, the catcher. Angel Sanchez at shortstop. Wandy Rodriguez is the pitcher.
Now 25-year-old Brad Lincoln, Brazosport High School, University of Houston, making his 6th major league start, 1-2. Through his first 5 with a 4.65 ERA. Struggled the first 2 or 3 starts, but the last couple very good.
Ball 1 to Michael Bourne. Astros All-Star representative at 260 with a 336 on base average. Takes the Lincoln pitch, and it's 2 balls, no strikes. You mentioned all the family and friends, estimated perhaps to be around 200. Watching Brad Lincoln. Could be an asset, could be a deterrent to his work tonight.
It would likely be performance neutral, but how about that for a term? Performance neutral. But you just never know. I mean, obviously he's very pumped up, I would think, to pitch in front of the home folks. Whether it makes him better or worse, I don't know.
It's 2-2. He was good last time out.
Boy, was he ever. 7 shutout at Wrigley. And he'll get help from Tabata, McCutcheon, and Millage in the outfield. They can really get after it. Alvarez, Crosby handle the left side. Walker Jones the right. Ryan Doman has really struggled throwing out base runners, so this is a big matchup here. If Bourne get on base 2 or 3 times tonight, he could really do some damage with the legs.
Lincoln's first career start in college for the University of Houston Cougars came right here during the Minute Maid Park College Classic on February 15, 2004 against nationally ranked Texas. He struck out 4 Longhorns in 4 innings. And he had pitched while in high school at the Astrodome. Up the middle, deflected by Lincoln. Jeremy Walker does not get him. And there's an infield hit for Bourne, who leads the league in infield hits. That's number 18.
And as soon as that ball got by Brad Lincoln, you figured it was going to be a base hit with Bourne's speed. Play probably should have been made. They never rule out an error. Lincoln wished they would. He'd rather have an error on the board than a knock. And I think it's not a matter of if, but when Michael Bourne tries to steal second base here.
You know that. With Doman having thrown out 5 of 53, it's Jeff Keppinger, the batter. 278 for Jeff, 1 homer, 28 driven in. 7-game hitting streak for Jeff.
Michael and Lincoln would have missed at the University of Houston, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah. Brad just turned 25. But no doubt a lot of Cougars out here watching this game tonight to see who's on the winning team, how they perform against each other. And tight to Keppinger. Michael is a couple of years older, 2 years plus than Lincoln. 1 ball, no strikes. Keppinger has been wielding the bat very well in situations with Bourne at first base. We'll see what Brad Mills has in mind here. Bourne leads the league with 25 steals. He's been caught 7 times. And the Pirates' McCutchen is second to Bourne in stolen bases with 20. So we have a matchup of the leaders in this series. There are the numbers.
And the one that jumps out at you, that number on Doman. 5 of 65 thrown out so far.
Another move. Chases Bourne back. The Astros are 11th in stolen bases compared to the Pirates 4th, but Pittsburgh has allowed, with all catchers behind the plate, 71 steals in 86 tries. Those are compelling numbers that the Pirates have been unable to prevent the stolen base. Bourne's going. Big jump. Throw not necessary, and it hits him, but it can't advance.
Yeah, see, for my money, Doman really struggling to throw as much as he is. I don't know if I have Brad Lincoln pay that much attention to him. I don't want the young right-hander distracted working so hard on Bourne when you don't really have a legitimate chance of throwing him out.
Good point. Lincoln did not use the slide step. The ball hitting Bourne. To the backside. He reaches back after steal number 26. And the count's 2-0 to Keppinger. The pitch was not that easy for the catcher to handle and make a throw on it. It was inside on the batter. Now 2-1, and that stolen base can mean an awful lot. Both these clubs have struggled to score runs this year, and the Astros are trying to scratch one out here by moving base by base with Bourne.
See how this at bat goes with Keppinger. If Michael's still there after this at bat, he'll probably think about taking third. A little riskier proposition, of course, with Lance up there hitting from the left side.
To right field. Millage with the play, but he had turned, so Bourne easily tagged and went to third on a productive out, as they say, out number 1. And anything for Keppinger, if he steers it to the right of second base somewhere, it's a pretty good likelihood Michael can get to third.
Yeah, exactly. And look for something away, keep the hands inside the ball, and think right side. Halfway decent fly ball, a little chopper on the ground. Just about anything is going to advance Bourne. Now the responsibility falls to Lance to drive him in.
John Russell keeps his infielders back with a runner at third and 1 out. Lance Berkman stepping up at 243 with 8 homers, 37 driven in.
This is the baseball 101. This is the rule. This is the play. Keep him back early. You don't want to move the infield in and enhance the hitter's chances of getting a base hit and possibly setting up a big inning. But the way these teams struggle to score runs, if he did bring the infield in, you could understand it.
Numbers on Berkman. Not what he would like them to be in this situation. One ball, one strike. Lincoln has really improved his changeup, fastball, and curve. Very good pitches for Brad. Brad won the Dick Hauser Award in college. He's a semifinalist for the Clemens Award. Grew up in Clute, Texas. Now lives in Pearland. Foul ball, and Doman comes out of there.
No, he really won't be able to throw. Yeah, I wish I was just playing first base these days. This is no fun. Not throwing anybody out. Getting whacked.
Human pinball machine on that one.
A little of this, a little of that. Michael Bourne was at the University of Houston from 01 to 03. and then Lincoln was there from 2004 to 2006. So they just missed. Maybe Michael helped recruit him.
Perhaps. Lincoln struck out 6 in 7 innings when he shut out the Cubs at Wrigley 2-0 in that last start for 7. Close. 2-2.
Four-seamer just missing that inside corner. And Brad probably went to U of H when he was a senior in high school and watched Bourne play and said, I want that guy. I want to go pitch with that guy in center field.
You know it.
And then Michael left, got drafted, and said, see ya.
He went somewhere else to run down somebody else's mistakes. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Berkman had a homer and a triple in the same game on Sunday at San Diego for the 5th time in his career. His home run, batting right-handed, batting second in that game. And he pokes that one foul with McCutchen shading toward left center on Berkman. The Astros swept the 3-game series back in April from this Pirate club here. They outscored the Buccos 19-8 in that series. 6 of the next 9 games for Houston will be against this Pittsburgh ball club. Grounded to the right side. Bourne's coming home. Berkman is tossed out. It's 1-0 Houston on Berkman's 38th run batted in.
There you go, Wandy. There's your run.
Anybody ever tell you that?
All the time.
Yeah.
Especially if you went through a run of starts where you weren't getting any run support. And somebody would go, hey, there you go. No whining. There's your run. Go get him.
Go get him and go 9, huh? Carlos Lee is next. So 2 productive outs. Got Michael from second to the plate, and Lee takes strike 1.
That's a Bourne run right there. Infield single, stolen base. An advance on a fly ball, score on a ground ball.
He's a team player, you might say. Another reason Michael's an all-star. He runs down the pitcher's mistakes, and he scores on outs. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, it's nice for Lansfield. A ground ball to second base, and you get an RBI out of it.
Lee to center field. McCutchen backing and looking up. And Lee smash, and he hit it out. Solo homer for Carlos Lee. Number 11 makes it 2-0 Astros as Carlos goes long ball. His 13th career homer against the Pirates. And he's driven in 5 against Pittsburgh this season.
So a little small ball and then a little long ball. Trying to go down and away with a fastball. Lincoln's 2-seamer ran back to the middle of the plate. Now Caballo jumped all over it. Hutchin, he knows it's either going to be fly out of here or he's going to have to play to Karam. And actually ended up with both.
2-0. And it's Hunter Pence batting now. Breaking pitch, good for strike 1 to Hunter, a .254 hitter with 11 homers. 37 runs batted in for Hunter. He hit 158 on the road trip. Lincoln's curve dips low, and it's a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Lincoln had excellent numbers at Indianapolis this year. His last 5 starts, he had gone 3-1 with a 2.12 ERA when he was called up in early June. Bouncer to the left side. Glove by Crosby. Crosby throws and gets Pence. And the Astros put 2 on the board on 2 hits in the first inning. They lead it 2-0. second run after Michael Bourne scored the first one with his legs.
Chevy's a proud sponsor of youth baseball programs throughout the state of Texas. For more info on Chevy's commitment to youth baseball, visit the website, ChevyTexasBaseball.com.
Ryan Doman leads it off in inning number 2, looking at ball 1 from Wandy Rodriguez, switch hitting catcher. Begins tonight at 257. Doman has 7 homers. He's driven in 28 runs. He's had 245 at bats this year. 184 as a right-handed batter. One hopper, a good spear by Sanchez, and he throws the game. Angel Sanchez with an excellent play, all stretched out. And that's a hard hit out, number 1.
Well, as advertised, he can play the position. He hasn't been much of an offensive player throughout his career, but highly recommended defensively, and he's made a couple real nice plays since joining the Astros. This ball really scorched by Doman. Sanchez gobbles it up. Squares the shoulders. Good accurate throw.
That takes care of the first out. Now Lastings Millage will bat. Millage has moved from left field to right seamlessly. There's strike 1. 268 is his average. 1 homer, 24 runs batted in. He's hit 326 in his last 15 games. It's a 1 ball, 1 strike. He's hit in different spots in the lineup. He started 47 games in left field, now 14 in right, with Tabata taking over in left. It's on the top of the curveball, and it's a 1 ball, 2 strike count for Wandy Rodriguez, who is 5-4 in his career against the Buccos. He has started 5 games here at Minute Maid Park against Pittsburgh. The Astros have won all 5 of those games. It's 2-2. The Pirates have seen Wandy a total of a dozen times in his career. Shooting for win number 3 in a row with a 5-10 record, a 530 earned run average. The Astros have had very good starting pitching lately. Their starters in the last 5 games have collaborated on a 1.10 ERA. Problem is the Padres starters also were outstanding. One hopper.
And I don't want to discredit what the Astros pitchers did in San Diego, because they did pitch well, but that's not a good offensive club out there. But a couple good starts in the Milwaukee series, and that is a very good hitting team.
Now Bobby Crosby, and he's moved in at shortstop. Ronnie Cedeno spending more and more time on the bench, with Crosby playing more and more. 245, 1 homer, 11 runs batted in. Well, the former Oakland A first-round pick who looks at strike 1. Crosby in his last 11 games has 12 hits and 36 at-bats. That moves him back a little bit, and it's a 1 ball, 1 strike count with Lincoln on deck. And Lincoln can hit. Strike for Wandy. It's 1-2 to Crosby.
Wandy throws a lot of fastballs that have a little cutting action moving in towards right-handed hitters. And some nights when it doesn't seem to have that pitch, other nights it seems to come to him naturally, and tonight he's thrown a lot of them.
Ooh, we got him on a high rider. Strikeout number 2 comes Wandy's way to end the Pirates' second inning with a score 2-0 Astros. It's Houston 2, Pittsburgh nothing. We go to the bottom of the second inning, and Chris Johnson has been the hottest hitter recently for the Astros. CJ leads it off and looks at a Lincoln pitch outside. Ball 1. 355 for CJ. No homers, 8 runs batted in. He went 5 for 11 in the San Diego series. 438 on the road trip with 5 doubles. And he's ahead in the count. 2 balls, no strikes. Even though he's only walked twice, he's been ahead in the count enough to do that kind of damage you saw on the screen a moment ago. 62 at bats. Nice fastball there, makes it 2-1 to Johnson.
A 2-0 heater. Chris looking for the fastball, but Lincoln able to throw it right by him.
Chris has 9 hits in his last 15 at bats over 5 games. 4 doubles. Now 3 balls, 1 strike.
We'll see if he's as aggressive with the 3-1 as he was with the 2-0. Sometimes as a pitcher, when you get into those fastball counts, you'll try it one time, and I don't know if I can get away with it again.
Hit the shortstop. Crosby fields the 2-hopper. Gets it over to Jones. 1 out. And let's go to Patty Smith for a special visit with Brad Lincoln's mother. Patty.
Well, absolutely. I picked Brad Lincoln's mother, but he's got a crowd of people here. A big group you guys talked about earlier, 200 or so tickets. Just the family alone has a group of, what, about 34 people here?
We have these 3 rows. So.
How much fun are you having with, being able to come out here and see him? I know he's pitched at Minute Maid before, but a pretty special night for you.
It's very special. No matter what the outcome of the game is, it's going to be good. We have all of our family here on both sides, so that's that's a blessing that everybody got to come to watch him at Minute Maid. So.
And you said you were out there in line and you saw people like from U of H, just a lot of other fans around. Is this, do you think, more nerve-wracking for you to sit here and watch him, or how is he kind of handling it?
He's probably nervous, but I don't think he's more nervous than his dad and I are. But we feel his pain. When he's struggling, we feel his pain. When he's doing good, we're all excited. But no matter if we're sitting here or in their living room, it's stressful.
And I know you're Astro fans, but just not tonight, right?
It's not tonight.
All right, well, enjoy the game.
Thank you.
Bill.
Fly ball toward left center field, and Tabata cuts across for the catch on Castro. It's out number 2 for Brad Lincoln, so maybe his folks will settle in a little bit now that he's gotten the first 2 outs here in the second. Nervous time for a parent, very much so.
Yeah, whether it's big leagues or little league, but on a big league mound in your hometown, there's a little extra going on. Kind of watch a game with one eye half closed.
Angel Sanchez, he's 1 for 7 with the Astros, fouls that one out of play, strike 1. Did you make your debut in Yankee Stadium, JD?
I did make my debut in Yankee Stadium.
Okay, how many family members did you have there for that?
I couldn't get anybody to come down, Brownie. I don't remember. I remember there was a lot of excitement, but it was nothing like this, because the Yankee Stadium's a long way from where I grew up. It's like a 7 or 8 hour drive. But, I had family in. Mom and Dad came down. My brother came over. It was so long ago, I can't remember all the particulars. And I was supposed to pitch on the weekend, and then they pushed me back to Tuesday, and that kind of scrambled some plans for people.
But Lincoln misses the spot outside. The target was in and goes to 2-1 on Sanchez. Well, this is Brad Lincoln's time, certainly. Last year he was at AA Altoona for 13 starts, AAA Indianapolis for 12. He has arrived in this Pirate rotation. Center fielder McCutchen ranges back toward the Astros bullpen to make it a 1-2-3 second and a 2-0 Houston lead.
Join the Astros for Faith and Family Night on Saturday, July 31st, 6:05 ball game with the Brewers. After the game, testimony by Lance Berkman, concert with Jars of Clay. Tickets start at $7. They're found at Astros.com. We insist that you come out.
Saturday, July 31st. Good evening. Brad Lincoln, lefty on lefty, swings at that one, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. Lincoln has good results as a batter. 3 hits in 8 at-bats. He had 21 homers in 3 seasons for the Cougars. As an RBI, already as a big leaguer, and he's gone. Strikeout number 3 is one. He drops a hook on him.
Looking at a little Uncle Charlie, obviously has a scouting report on Lincoln, a very good 2-way player in college.
Now the leadoff man, Tabata, hit the fly ball to Hunter Pence, who made a sliding catch in right field.
Fine. Tabata backwards is out of bat.
Strike 1. He divided last season between AA and AAA. 1 ball and 1 strike. He was leading the International League in steals when he was promoted by the Pirates. Had a history of some hamstring problems, but nothing has developed for him so far in the big leagues, fortunately for Pittsburgh. Fly ball, foul. Berkman and Pence over for it, and that drops and hops up into the seats for a foul ball for strike 2.
Yeah, just a young man, 21 years of age. He hasn't really hit for power yet, in his minor league career, but I would not be surprised if he were to find that. He's one of the top prospects for the Yankees before moving on in the trade over here to Pittsburgh. Boy, Harry'd have a blast trying to pronounce that name.
Especially backwards. You stay away from those.
Taking 4.5 innings just to get out a try.
2-2 the count.
Enzo Attegi.
That sounds good. He was signed as a free agent by the Yankees in 2004. Had a strong Arizona Fall League last year, hitting .392 last fall. So he was definitely on the radar screen. And Wandy spins a curveball and strikes him out. 3 strikeouts in a row and 4 in the game.
Tight rotation on that curveball. He gets it going, boy. When he's spotting his fastball and has that feel with the curveball, he can rack up some pretty impressive strikeout numbers.
Yes, he can. Neil Walker took a walk on a 3-2 count, first time up. Looking at the fastball, strike 1. He's a natural right-handed hitter, but his father, Tom, who pitched with Montreal, Detroit, St. Louis, and California, pitched a 15-inning no-hitter in the minor leagues. Told him when he was about 11 years old that, son, if you switch hit, that breaking ball is always going to be breaking in toward you. And Neil took that approach and has stayed with it successfully over the years. His brother-in-law is Don Kelly, a member of the Detroit Tigers. And they played against each other in interleague play and robbed each other of hits this year. 2 balls, 1 strike. Now, Tom Walker was a first-round pick in '68 by the Orioles. This fly ball hits for Michael Bourne's territory. And in the 3rd, Wandy Rodriguez gets a couple of Ks and a can of corn. 2-0 lead.
salt, the condiment.
Wandy Rodriguez takes, and it's strike one as he leads off the third inning. His batting average, like Mr. Lincoln's, is attractive 241. No homers, 2 runs batted in for Wandy with 7 hits and 29 at bats. Ground ball goes out to Walker at second. And that's 1 out for Lincoln.
5 in a row retired now by Lincoln after the Carlos Lee home run.
Down the line in the Landry's Crawford boxes. Michael Bourne, who went up the middle. Lincoln deflected it. Went to Walker. Bourne was able to beat that out for a hit. Then he stole second. Took third on a fly ball by Kappinger and scored on a ground out by Berkman.
Jack's Energy will let you know where these pitches are. Each and every night, Fox Tracks comes your way. Courtesy of the good folks at Jexa. Cougar Nation rises as one now for this big matchup between Bourne and Lincoln.
I wonder if Lincoln ever thought about the stovepipe hat. 2 balls, no strikes.
Like, well, with that beard going like Matt Clement used to have. And we called Matt Clement the old rail splitter when he pitched for the Cubs.
How about that? 2 balls and a strike. This is the first of 27 straight games for the Astros within the National League Central. They're 15-12. That's the second best record within the division. They've gone 53-28 here against the Pirates. Line to right. Bourne is 2 for 2 off Lincoln.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Okay.
Michael went through that prolonged funk and swung about pretty well in that last road trip. Had that one huge game, 4 hits plus a home run. And the one thing he started to do a little bit better is turn on some fastballs. Can't afford to let pitchers take away half the plate against you. Been able to open up on some heaters.
Kappinger's probably going to take this first pitch. Bourne stole easily in the first inning.
Could double cross him, though.
Yeah.
See, because sometimes what happens, especially when you have a catcher that's not throwing well. So the catcher wants every shot possible, and he'll like to call a lot of fastballs. And sometimes, you know, as a 2-hole hitter, you're up there thinking, I'm going to take some pitches to allow this guy a chance to steal, but you know, every now and then you want to cross up the opposition.
Exactly.
Think they're going to lay a fastball in there, and you jump all over it.
Charlie Manuel made the statement that he was told by the commissioner's office to take players for versatility in naming his all-stars this year. And that may answer the question that many had about Infante of the Braves, Omar Infante, being named to the team. He's only started about half the Braves games this year, but is very versatile. Michael Bourne, another of those guys who could come off the bench as an all-star, steal a base, or play in center field late in the game.
Well, Michael's selection is justified because you have to have one from each team. The Supreme Court could not convince me that Omar Infante should be an all-star. But, I mean, I don't know. He's a good player. He's having a nice year. But there's so many guys that are deserving. And big-name guys, too.
Right.
And this is supposed to be the brightest, the shining stars, baseball's, you know, showcase. Joey Votto's the best offensive player in the league this year. He needs to be on that club. Ryan Zimmerman needs to be on that club.
Yeah, it's been something that's caused a lot of conversation, obviously. Pitch is up to Kappinger, and now the count is square at 1-1. Kappinger's a .225 career hitter against the Pirates.
And the other thing too, it's, you know, the Braves already had 3 or 4 other guys already on the team.
Mm-hmm. Berkman on deck. Bourne attracts another throw. That's one deterrent to base stealing, throwing over many times. Atlanta and Philly are tied tonight 2-2. They played 6 in Philadelphia. Cole Hamels on the mound for the Phils against Jair Jurgens. Liner to left, hit well. Off the big board, it kicks back towards second base. That'll give Bourne a chance to score on an RBI double by Keppinger, 3-0. The ball rocketed past Tabata back towards second base. Looked like kind of a funny carom, but he's not used to playing in this ballpark, and it's 3-0.
That ball really hit hard by Jeff Keppinger, and again, I just think they're paying too much attention to Bourne because I don't think they can stop him. I think they're wasting their time and perhaps a little bit of the energy and concentration of Brad Lincoln by working so hard to try to hold Michael Bourne. A fastball right down Broadway for Keppinger. You see it kick off the scoreboard out there on a funky angle.
There's the club leader with his 22nd double. 29th run batted in, and he's at second for Lance Berkman. Berkman with a ground out, got the first run of the game home. His 38th run batted in. There's strike one. The Astros go to Pittsburgh on the first road trip after the All-Star break, and then Chicago. This weekend, the St. Louis Cardinals will be here.
The Astros have had a lot of success against the Pirates over the years in this ballpark, and 13-5 against them since last year overall.
Wow, what a nice pitch for Lincoln there. No balls, 2 strikes.
Dandy of a changeup right there at 84 miles an hour. His fastball's been 90 to 94.
Houston against Rice.
What do they call that series? You have a name for that?
Silver Bucket, is it? Bayou Bucket?
That sounds right, yeah.
Bayou Bucket.
Some kind of a bucket.
Okay. Just don't step in the bucket. Carlos Lee on deck. Astros happy to be back home after another 10-day road trip. Berkman fouls it back. They've got 2 more of those coming in the second half, too. The executive chef of Minute Maid Park, Jason Kohler, and vendor Minter Ford will be going to the All-Star Weekend in Anaheim. Take part in a barbecue competition.
That's clearly a deserving choice.
Yeah. Great chef, sir. Berkman taps a foul, still a 1-2 count.
Remember when we were in Pittsburgh and Doug Davis was getting ready to come off the DL, and there was a lot of speculation as to whose place he would take?
In Milwaukee?
In Milwaukee. I said Pittsburgh. Yeah, Milwaukee.
Uh-huh.
The decision just got easy because they put Giovanni Gallardo on the DL.
Oh, yeah.
The left oblique strain.
So now they have to replace him in the All-Star roster.
Disappointing for Gallardo. Hey, let's get a chance.
Left fielder Tabata going into the corner, now pulling back to watch it, and Lance Berkman has hit one. A 2-run shot for Lance to the opposite field, number 9. And it's a big 3-run inning so far for the Astros and a 5-0 lead. Runs batted in now for Berkman this season. That's his 23rd career long ball against the Pirates.
Now that look says it all. Kind of a shrug of the shoulders and a little bit of a sheepish look. If there's a cheaper home run in Lance's career, I don't know, but he'll take it.
Carlos Lee hit the first homer tonight. Strike one to him.
And you think all the balls he's blistered to center field in this ballpark, that somebody's run down on the base of that hill for outs. He'll tell you, I had that one coming.
He caught it a little bit late. One hopper to Alvarez. And 2 down. So Berkman's had the big evening already, and the Astros have hit 2 homers in the first 3 innings. That has not happened in a while.
Lance had a home run and a triple in the finale of that series on Sunday in San Diego.
Astros are last in the league in homers. 2 tonight. They now have 50. Hunter Pence grounded to shortstop in the first inning. Lincoln had allowed only 2 homers in his first 31 innings. Pence looks at ball 1. Maybe that puts Roy Oswalt into the All-Star game with the need for a replacement for Gallardo. It's a 1-1 count. A lot of guys make it here in this final period leading up to the All-Star break because of injuries to others. Little chopper, barehanded, but not cleanly, and Pence gets an infield hit. And he's right behind Michael Bourne for the league lead in infield hits. That's his 16th.
Lincoln has not had the best of luck here in this inning. Lance's home run essentially a fly ball. Now this little rollover ground ball to third base turns into a knock. Alvarez, if he gets it cleanly, is going to have a hard time throwing him out. Anyway, let's see if Mike or if Hunter's on the move here.
Chris Johnson, the batter. Pirates think he might be on the move. Lincoln stepping back. Not a whole lot of difference for Lincoln, facing left-handed hitters and right-handers so far. Left-handers 283, right-handers 271. Hunter has 9 steals. He's been caught 5 times. Martin Prado hit his 8th home run of the season tonight for the Braves. Raul Ibanez hit number 7 for the Phillies. It's now 3-2. Atlanta just got a run in the top of the 7th. Braves leading the Phillies by 4 and the Mets by 2 right now. Pitch out. The Pirates had some nice crowds. They won 3 of 4 from the Phillies in the previous series. John Russell's club roared from behind to win on Sunday. It's 2 balls, no strikes. All these pitchers facing the Astros in this series. It'll be Daniel McCutcheon tomorrow night, Ross Ollendorf Thursday afternoon. Just coming off their first wins. Pirates starting staff has a 5.52 ERA, highest in the league. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Well, their bullpen's been pretty good, and it's been really good of late. So important to get the jump on this club, as the Astros have done here this evening.
All the way. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Chris Johnson. Best wishes go out to Fern Matheny for a quick recovery from her surgery today. Well, Methodist will take a few days off. Take care of her, rightfully so. Pence is going, and it's hit foul and out of play for Chris Johnson. Let's see about Brad Lincoln on our Jack in the Box standings and what he did at U of H. 12-2 with a 1.69 ERA in that 06 season.
Yeah, I think it was the year before that. In the summer, he went to the Cape Cod League, made a little bit of an adjustment to his delivery, and things really came together for him there.
Throws to first base tonight. The Astros coming off a series in which they scored 2 runs in the 3 previous games. They were shut out in back-to-back affairs. Lost 3-2 Sunday. 1 hopper. Alvarez takes his time and throws out Johnson. The Astros added their lead with 3 in the 3rd. On 4 hits, they leave a man. It's 5-0 as Berkman hits number 9.
I have time now to introduce you to our progressive fans of the game, and I am now an official member of this group, the TABC. Mike, tell us, what is TABC?
It's our Tuesday home game event we do from our bar, 1820. We take everybody that shows up about 6 o'clock. We go to the Astros game. It's a lot of fun. We do it every Tuesday home game. You can see everybody here. It's wonderful to show up. Bo comes. We got all our crew here that works at the bar and all our regulars.
All right, they've got a great 12-step program on the back of the shirts there. Bo, tell us a little bit about some of the rituals here and what fans can expect if they become a part of the group.
We're on Facebook. We're at 1820 Lounge. You can come to the game any Tuesday night. We encourage you to come. Just show up by 7. We have a free ticket to the game. Come with us out and just root the Astros on to victory. We're going to have a great second half of the season.
All right, that's every Tuesday. The Tuesday Astro Baseball Club. They are our progressive fans of the game. Thanks, guys.
I want that fedora. Right there. That's a quality look right there.
That's right. I'd like to see you break out that one you wore Sunday again sometime.
That's Lowell's got that. See, Lowell's tending to Fern. We've lost our prop man.
Yeah. Strike one to Garrett Jones after the hit by McCutchen. And Wandy has had a high percentage of first pitch strikes, 11 of 13 so far tonight.
You got to keep an eye on McCutchen. Down 5 runs. It's tough for the Pirates to run. You don't want to take too many risks on the bases and run yourself out of an inning when you're down 5. And a guy like McCutchen, I guess you can never rule it out completely. He's second in the league in stolen bases to Michael Bourne.
Dazzling pitch there, and it's 0-2 to Jones. Even though the Pirates have won 30 and lost 52, they have a winning record in games started by Southpaws. They're 13-12. San Diego southpaw Clayton Richard has encountered some rather difficult times tonight in Washington. He trails 5-2 in the bottom of the 6th inning. He's allowed 5 runs in 5 2/3. He's come up against Levon Hernandez. Soft fly ball hit the shallow center field for Bourne. 1 down. Our league leaders are brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers, showing you the stolen base leaders in the National League. You'll see the top 2 guys in this series on display, Bourne and McCutchen. Then Jose Reyes, an all-star this year, Niger Morgan, and Shane Victorino.
Jose Reyes back doing some damage at the top of that Mets lineup. 19 steals. He's only been caught a couple of times. Well, David Wright's having a big year.
Yes, he is. Pedro Alvarez struck out first time. He gets a slant, and he takes it for strike 1 there. Big things expected of this man.
It's from New York City, Washington Heights, same area that Manny Ramirez is from. A-Rod was born there as well.
Line to right center. Let's see who gets it. Michael Bourne gets there and holds him to a single with a good play. And it's first and third with McCutchen moving around to the other corner with one out on the Alvarez hit, giving him an 8-game hitting streak.
And McCutchen, he can really fly. You got to keep your eye on him at all times. Any little bit of a bobble or misplay out there, and he's probably going to score. He's fun to watch run.
He is a blur there going first to third.
Yeah, he's on my 4x100 relay team. He and Michael. Those other guys we just mentioned, throw them on there too. Reyes and Niger Morgan.
Now the Pirates have something stirred up now with Ryan Domet, the batter. Hit that ground ball, hit it pretty hard, but Sanchez extended his gloved hand and got him. Taps that one foul, strike one. Domet had hits in all 3 of the games here in Houston back in April. Ryan from Moses Lake, Washington. The mainstays on this Pirate club. His first year in the big leagues was 05. He was a second-round pick in '99. That one will go into left field for an RBI single to make it 5-1. Domet hit it just over the infield and too far in front of Carlos Lee to prevent his 29th run batted in. Nine straight batters. Monty Rodriguez is throwing a first pitch strike.
This time it's an off-speed pitch, little breaking ball that was down, and Domet out on his front foot, but kept the hands back well enough where he could get a piece of it.
Lasting Smelich was the 12th player drafted in the 03 draft by the New York Mets from Bradenton, Florida. Strike one to Millich. A tap back to the pitcher first time up. Then he was traded to Washington before the 08 season. Pirates got him in a trade in mid-season 09 last year. Along with Joel Hanrahan. Line to right field. A hit in front of Hunter Pence. Stop sign at third base. And the bases are loaded on the single by Millich, the 4th hit of the inning.
Not exactly tearing the cover off the ball, but the Pirates having some good at-bats here. Pinging it this way and that way. 4 singles in the inning. Good news for Wandy is he's down towards the bottom of the order now.
Number 8 hitter Bobby Crosby's waiting.
You see the opponent average as Wandy faces the lineup each successive time. Second time through, hitting .336 against him. Perhaps making a little bit of an adjustment to the breaking pitch.
Crosby struck out earlier, moves back from that one, ball 1. Lincoln's on deck. Pirates picked him up as a free agent last December. He's from Lakewood, California, Cal State Long Beach. That works for a strike, and it's 1-1. Crosby's the son of former major leaguer Ed Crosby. Tony Beasley is the coach at third. There's Alvarez at third, Domet at second, Millich at first to think about here on any ball hit. It's up and it's 2-1.
Crosby has never hit for much average in his career. His rookie year with Oakland, he was an everyday player. He had 22 home runs. He was rookie of the year that year.
Foul ball makes it 2 balls, 2 strikes. Crosby had to deal with a concussion earlier this season. Kind of a revolving door in the infield at some of these spots for John Russell. Crosby moving in now at shortstop. Under the Wilsh playing a lot of third. He's on the bench tonight. Foul back. Akinori Iwamura, who was the opening day second baseman, was released, so the Pirates have had their changes on the infield. The red hair crowd is here tonight.
So they don't get lost in the crowd.
They color code the kids.
Yeah. Why buy a T-shirt? Just dye the hair.
3-2. That's a unique way of identifying the youngster.
Oh.
Big pitch coming here. Bases loaded. 3-2, 1 out. Crosby gets underneath it, but he stays alive.
Wandy typically has a lot of confidence in his curveball. He had a pretty good whack at that fastball right there. And just look at his numbers throughout his career. He's been a guy with some pop in his bat who strikes out a lot. Be careful if you're going to throw him a heater.
Popped up. Castro, the catcher, is there in foul ground. 2 outs. What a big one there. Now the pitcher comes up.
Not out of the woods yet. Lincoln handles it well. But that was a big one.
Lincoln struck out looking at a curveball in the third. Red with a chance to really further his own cause, trailing 5-1 with the bases loaded here. Big cut, strike one. Wandy Rodriguez has won 3 and lost 4 this season at Minute Maid Park with a 4.62 ERA. In his career, he's 34-25 here. Fastball, now it's 0-2, and Lincoln probably not too sure what's coming next.
Cheating on a fastball with that first one, took a big aggressive swing at a curveball, and Wandy able to tip the inside corner with a heater.
And a swing and a miss. Wandy's out of trouble. 1-run scoring on 4 hits. The Pirates lead 3, and it's 5-1 Houston. AT&T has a trivia question about him. Name the NL pitcher who was on the DL, who was a college teammate of Brad Lincoln. Let's see. It's on the disabled list. We'll have to think about that as Jason Castro leads it off in the 4th inning.
I can't think about that. too hard.
Nice bright sign there. Arg! Yeah. Matey, as Castro leads off, he hit a fly ball to left. And looks at ball one there. Baltimore 3, Detroit 1. They're in the top of the 7th at Detroit. Nick Markakis hit his 5th home run for the Orioles.
Jason with just 3 hits in 23 at bats on the road trip. Still having pretty good at bats.
Lincoln gets a strike call. It's 2-1.
This cause in it. I think it might have been off the plate.
Jeff Kellogg liked it.
Good enough for Jeff. It's good enough for me.
Twins lead Toronto 7-6 in the 8th. Tight that time, and it's 3-1 for Brad Lincoln. Brad had 9 walks in 31 innings coming into this game tonight. He has not walked anybody.
Good time to take a big aggressive swing here. He did. Been able to keep that ball down. We just couldn't get to it. Good swing, good pitch.
Castro from Stanford. So he and Lincoln have both come from college programs and worked their way to the big leagues. And now to continue the learning at this level. And he draws the leadoff walk. It's his 6th walk. Number 1 of the game for Lincoln. AT&T will tell us Brad Lincoln's college teammate, who's now on the disabled list. Jared Mock of the Washington Nationals.
Hey, how about Ryan Wagner, relief pitcher, signed with the Reds? Is he done? Is he still playing?
I haven't heard anything about him. It's a good question. Boots is going to check it out as Angel Sanchez bats. And there's a block by Doman of that curveball in the dirt. Ball 1 to Sanchez. Ozzie Navarro started at shortstop in the game on Sunday. And Sanchez getting the call tonight. Jeff Blum now on the disabled list with bone chip surgery and his right elbow coming up tomorrow. Runner takes off. There's a bouncer behind Jason Castro. It goes to second, and Neil Walker turns it into out number 1. But Castro moved over easily.
A little hit and run play there, trying to create some openings on the infield. Sanchez, his job is to make sure you put the ball in play. He does.
Oh, that's Salt. Okay. Salt coming July 23rd. Now here's Wandy. He hit a ground ball to second in the 3rd inning.
Salt. Brought to you by the Salt Council. Salt needs a little PR cleanup. Taking a lot of hits lately.
Well, remember back, let's see. You're just turning 50 a couple weeks ago or so. So you probably had passed the time when they tried to get you to take a lot of salt when you were working out outside in the summertime, right?
Salt tablets. No, yeah, I remember hearing about it.
Yeah.
I did it.
Things have changed a whole bunch since then. 1-1.
Whose idea was that?
I don't remember.
Mr. Morton?
Could have been. Wasn't Carl Morton.
Salt's good on a little watermelon this time of year.
Oh, yeah. Fly ball to left center. Tabata in position. 2 down. And that'll be Michael Bourne, who's 2 for 2 in this Cougar matchup tonight.
Michael on twice, scored twice, and really upsetting the timing and the rhythm out there for Brad Lincoln. Lance hit the big home run. Carlos hit a home run, but I think Michael Bourne's been the most impactful player in this ball game so far.
He scored 2 runs, and he now has scored 50 runs this season. Last year he scored 97. He was the club MVP. Caught by Crosby for the final out. No runs, no hits, and a runner stranded. It's 5-1 Astros after 4. Fox Sports Houston is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers, by AT&T, and by Gullo Automotive. The Astros lead at 5-1 here at Minute Maid Park. Their record at home 16-24. And the fifth inning begins with Wandy Rodriguez throwing ball one. The leadoff man Tabata, who's 0 for 2 in this game. Fly ball to right and a strikeout. That one goes to the Houston pitcher, who extends and gets him.
Now the Pirates must feel a little bit like a team that marched down the field, boom, 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 and then had to settle for a field goal the way that last inning went.
Mm-hmm.
4 hits, 3 in a row, and the bases juiced for a couple of at-bats and only managed to score the 1 run. He did make Wandy work hard, so his pitch count now up at 72 pitches. A lot of work there in the 4th, so he could use a quick one here.
Walker drew a base on balls, and he hit a fly ball to center.
It's the money pitch right there.
Yes, it is.
Pound that outer third down at the bottom of the knees. You're either going to get the jump 0-1 or you're likely to get an out if they go after it. And the changeup right in the same spot. He's got so many options right now. He could stay out there a little further off, throw that cut fastball in on the knuckles, or bounce a curveball. Fastball away.
Walker takes it, and it's 1-2 to Neal, who had a concussion in Oakland June 25th on a collision on a foul fly ball up the right field line with Ryan Church. Ooh. 2-2. We checked on Chris Jakubauskas, the Pirate pitcher, who was hitting the head with that Lance Berkman line drive here in April, and he has been working his way back. No concussion problems remaining, but he has a knee injury right now. And a fastball gets a strikeout for Wandy. That's strikeout number 6.
Nice job. Pretty much stayed away throughout that at bat, but mixing the off-speed pitch with the fastball and ultimately slipping the heater right by him in a great spot. That's just a real nice job of carving up a hitter.
Andrew McCutchen should be an NL Central All-Star. He's hit .353 within the division. Ball one. McCutchen has been on both times tonight with a walk and a single, so he's continuing that excellent work. He's been pretty consistent this year. It's 1-1 to McCutchen. He leads National League center fielders in on-base average right now, 379. He's the type of player who really glides in the outfield.
Pirate fans are really going to enjoy watching him play over the years.
You know that.
Because he's just not a speed guy. He's got some pop in that bat.
Broken bat. Liner caught by Sanchez at short for a 1-2-3 fifth inning with a score 5-1 Astros.
Welcome back to Minute Maid. 5-1 Astros, 10 Astros games for just $20. Well, for limited time, you can score an outfield deck seat to 10 select Astros games for only $20 with the 10 for 20 plan. That's only $2 a game and a savings of $50 per plan. This offer is only available online, so buy yours at astros.com tonight. Bill?
Thanks, Patty. Jeff Keppinger, the batter. 0-1 pitch. Brad Lincoln is a strike on a curve. Keppinger drove in a run with a double in the third inning. He's 1 for 2. Well, Phil Boudreau looked up Ryan Wagner. Apparently, he retired last May, J.D.
Oh, okay.
Had some surgery.
I knew he had some arm problems.
He was in the Washington Nationals organization, 1 and 2. And with another local product, congratulations to product of the Woodlands, Kyle Drabeck, Doug's son. He pitched the first 9-inning no-hitter in Double-A New Hampshire Fisher Cats history. And a 5-0 win over New Britain on Sunday. Liner to left. Keppinger pulled the hands in, and he's 2 for 3. Patty Smith has found somebody you know, J.D. Let's go to Patty.
Oh, okay.
I did find somebody. I was just walking in the concourse, and who walks by me? But lo and behold, our good friend Russ Springer. This is actually the first game he's ever been to that he hasn't played in, and you're just wandering around like with a ticket and the whole bit.
Yeah, I just came by, got a ticket, and they asked me where I wanted. I said, well, just sit me in the bullpen. That's the only angle I've ever recognized the game for. So I'm sitting above the bullpen and went down and talked to Stretch and Bracamani and Sampson and went to catch the last half of the game.
Of course, when you were here, you were such a leader in the bullpen, kind of the guy that kept it all together. When you come out here and look at this Astros bullpen, kind of what are your thoughts?
They got some good guys down here. They've kind of been a revolving door on the back half of it, but Lyon's doing a heck of a job, and Lindstrom's doing a good job. I mean, I watch probably 80% of the games. I get a lot of them on Fox, over in Louisiana, and I watch JD and Brownie, and I like the young call-ups, Castro and Johnson, and Lance is starting to heat up. This team can still do some stuff in the second half.
Of course, you left here, went to, I guess, St. Louis, Oakland, Tampa Bay. What are you doing now, and kind of what are your thoughts as far as baseball is concerned?
Right now, being in Oakland and Tampa last year, I didn't see my family much, and I told them I wouldn't do that again. And going into spring training, I was thinking if I played, I still feel good, and if I played, it'd be close to home, or I would do the second half thing. And so, I've been throwing, and I've had some teams call me, so we'll see.
Now, you told me there was a time when you came back to the Astros and really turned things around, and maybe that's in the mix again?
You never know. First time was they'd already put the epitaph or whatever in the Houston Chronicle, and me and Wheeler came in after my first retirement, and we won 11 in a row and made it to the playoffs, so maybe that's what needs to happen.
All right, Tal Smith, Ed Wade, if you're listening, here's your guy right here. I can hook you up.
Hey, they know my phone number.
All right, Bill, JD.
Probably still throw 95.
Oh, what a great guy. Thanks, Patty. And Lance Berkman takes a strike. He's one of our favorites, certainly. Lance with a 3 RBI game going. And he's at 2-2 in the count. Tell Russ to get ready.
Well, that second half thing, that's a good idea for a veteran player. Because a lot of times as you age, and it's tough to maintain your stuff or to stay healthy for 162 games, but if you stay in decent shape, you're able to crank it up for a couple of months. That's what Pedro Martinez did last year for the Phillies, and they're contemplating that again. Mm-hmm. And maybe a club. I would think that, it'd be a good fit for Russ to come here, but I think the Astros, I don't know if they would be interested in Russ, but I think a club in contention would be more likely to make a run if they felt like they had a need in the bullpen.
And quite a few teams usually do come late July. If you're thinking about a trade and maybe having to give up a youngster when you can sign a Russ Springer, that's a little pause for thought. Bouncer and fielded by Jones. He goes to second, and the relay from Crosby to the pitcher Lincoln is thrown low and past him. Well, Keppinger is forced for out number 1. That play went from 3 to 6. Berkman reaches for Carlos Lee now.
A nice play here by Jones, gobbling up the ground ball in the feed to short. Always tough to complete that 3-6-1 double play. Pitcher on the move, coming to cover the bag. Took Jones a little while to get rid of that ball. If he'd been able to unload more quickly, it would have been an easier double play to convert.
Now Berkman has his lead. Carlos Lee with the bullpen busy. DJ Carrasco.
Wow, are those stirrup socks?
Yeah, they are. We need to get another look at those.
Is this a time warp?
It is a time warp.
Wow.
Isn't that a beautiful thing?
I got a new favorite player.
DJ Carrasco. 1-0 to Carlos. He ripped a homer in the first. He grounded out in the third. Now 2 balls, no strikes. Lincoln is at 84 pitches. Through 107 pitches on June 25th at Oakland. This fly ball heads for right center field. McCutchen moves over. Millage is there. Moves out of his way. 2 down.
Ball hog. Center fielder is the captain of the outfield. He has priority on fly balls out there. If you're in the corner and the center fielder calls you off, you should yield.
Pirates have good outfield coverage with this trio. Hunter Pence is 1 for 2, an infield hit in the third.
And they really need it in their ballpark. Big ballpark in Pittsburgh. And left field is huge.
Throw goes over to first, and Berkman dives back in. The Mets are shutting out Cincinnati 3-0. Moving to the top of the 9th at Citi Field. It's Johan Santana authoring the shutout, and he also has hit a home run.
So there you go. Go deep, pitch a shutout. You're going to win.
Sounds so easy. Millage to his right, and backing and going further back for the catch. About 370 feet away to retire Hunter Pence. No runs, a hit. A man stranded through 5. It's 5-1 Astros. Cam freezing Hunter Pence on an excellent sliding catch on the first batter of the game. Tabata takes a hit away in shallow right field. The Coors Light freeze cam brought to you by the Frost Brewed Coors Light. Wandy Rodriguez was helped by that catch. He walked the next 2 men, then got Jones and Alvarez. Now Jones leads it off here in the 6th inning, taking ball 1. Twice he's hit a fly ball to center. This one heads for center. It's Michael Bourne moving in and down. And the Gold Glover hangs in there for out number 1.
Good swing in the bat there by Jones. Not rewarded for it. Hit it hard. The ball looked like it might have been knuckling or sinking or something. Not an easy chance for Michael. But when you're the pitcher and it's heading in that direction, you like your chances.
Now Alvarez, who struck out, and he singled to right center field. That's ball one. Earlier you mentioned that Alvarez and Manny Ramirez had that in common, being born in the Dominican, growing up in the New York City area. Their parents looking for better lives for their families, but Alvarez arrived a lot earlier than Ramirez. He came to this country at age 1. Manny came at age 13. They're the same agent, Scott Boras, and they met. And of course, that was a big thrill 2 years ago when Alvarez got to know Manny a little bit. 2 balls and a strike.
Scott started representing him when he was 2. It's unbelievable the research that Scott Boras does.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
He was drafted out of high school by the Red Sox, I believe. Turned out a pretty big bonus and then went to Vanderbilt. Some people question his sanity turning down that money, but it's worked out pretty well for him.
Yeah.
A nice, big, fat contract. There was a little bit of a contract snafu, as a matter of fact. Remember, Boras tried to get the deal rescinded.
Oh, yeah. Swing and a miss, and Wandy breaks off a good one for strikeout number 7.
It's a strong kid with a quick bat. He's had a hard time keeping that front shoulder in on the breaking pitch tonight. Wandy at times against the left-hand hitter will change the arm angle, drop down just a little bit, and make that breaking ball more of a sweeper, a little more east to west action as opposed to the the 12-6 downward curve ball.
Like it has been more of a sweeper most of the time tonight. Doma looks at ball 1.
The tricks of the trade, you change the angle a little bit, you can make that ball make the break a little bit bigger.
1 ball, 1 strike to Domet. Boston and Tampa Bay are in the bottom of the 6th inning. 2-1 Tampa Bay. A good battle in the AL East. 2 clubs separated by a half game. This liner goes foul.
Nice catch out there, young man.
Yes. Excellent play. Here's a question for you. What if Manute Bol did that?
What if Steve Bartman did that? Oh, he did. Never mind.
It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, Manute Bol could actually reach over into fair territory. And that's not encouraged, but that ball was clearly foul, so the young man did the right thing and brought home a good souvenir for himself. That curveball gets it done for strikeout number 8. That equals his best total for strikeouts in a game this year. It's 5-1 Astros.
Astros, and the Astros have extended Price Matter Days presented by HEB, now available every Sunday through Thursday home games. You get a View Deck 2 ticket, hot dog, HEB chips, and soda, all for just $10, or upgrade to a field-level bullpen box seat for only $10 more. Visit Astros.com for tickets tonight. Bill?
Thanks, Patty. There is the guy with the stirrups. Our Verizon call to the pen brings in DJ Carrasco. And we do like those socks. And DJ, part of a good bullpen lately for the Pirates with a 1.90 ERA. Since the 26th of June for their relievers, he's 1-2. His ERA is 3.89.
And his year kind of reflecting what's gone on with the Pirate bullpen of late. He got off to a very slow start, but has turned things around lately. Overall, the number's pretty good. 3.89 ERA. They're getting 250 against him. And those aren't, those are legit too, because back in the day, guys used to wear those 2-in-1s. They were kind of fake-looking stirrups. These are legit.
He's got the sanitary socks on underneath, and the actual stirrups fit over those. Takes a little bit longer to put those on, but they look good. Foul ball by Chris Johnson gets him to an 0-1 count. He's bounced out twice. Carrasco struck out 2 of the 3 Phillies batters he faced Saturday night. It looked like it might have been a cutter. And it's 0-2 from the 33-year-old right-hander. Brad Lincoln in 5 innings allowed the Astros 7 hits, 5 runs with 1 walk, no strikeouts. Allowing home runs to Lee and Berkman. It's 1-2. Last 28 games, Carrasco has an ERA of 2.60. He went 3 innings in 1 game. That was a 14-inning affair at Milwaukee in late April. He's from Safford, Arizona. Sharp breaking pitch in the dirt. He gets a strikeout with it. 1 out.
Doesn't look like much of a swing, but no argument from CJ. Sharp breaking slider here. Never showed itself in the strike zone. Much of a swing as well.
I just get the sense that CJ is not giving an umpire any reason to think that he's being combative at this stage of his career, but maybe I'm wrong. Jason Castro.
I think you're dead on. I think he plays a little bit more, gets a little more comfortable. He may register his disgust with that call.
Line drive to left. Jason Castro with a single. He's aboard with 1 out for Sanchez now. And Patty Smith has found somebody else. Patty?
Actually, I didn't find somebody else. They found me after I got done with the Russ Springer interview. This team, the Jacinto City All-Stars, they literally hijacked me, kidnapped me, made me come over here and talk to their coach. I know you guys are in the midst of a championship game tomorrow. Tell us a little bit about your team and what they've accomplished.
These are the 13 and 14-year-old All-Stars from Jacinto City. Let's hear it, guys.
And tomorrow you're competing for?
District. We're going for the district tomorrow, and we don't know who our opponent is or where we're going to play at tomorrow.
All right, well, awesome. And Kim, I know you're the director of Parks and Recreation, and you donated the tickets for these kids?
The Astros donated them to the Jacinto City Parks and Rec. They're great. They gave us 250 tickets, so these guys get to come, and all through the season we get all the Little League coming out.
Awesome. Well, good luck, guys, to all of you. Thanks for hijacking me out here. And there's a lot going on out in this section. In fact, right down here, I got to give a shout out to Rachel. It's her 12th birthday. Happy birthday, Rachel, guys.
All right, Rachel.
Wow. Is there a director out there?
There must be somebody who told them
Stand
to
now.
hit the deck. Yeah. They quickly got down. Thought maybe there was a ball hit up there, but that's a long way. Sanchez would love to accommodate that kind of a deep drive. It's a 1 ball, 2 strike count. That's a tough arm angle for a right-handed batter.
Remember Wandy changing his angle a little bit. This is a drastic change of angle that DJ Carrasco features, dropping down, little sidearm Laredo breaking pitch.
Pitched 49 times for the White Sox last year. Foul ball keeps Sanchez alive at 1-2 with Wandy Rodriguez on deck. Carrasco began his career in the Baltimore organization. He was drafted in '97. He pitched in the big leagues for Kansas City, 03 through 05, then moved along to the White Sox. He went to Japan for a stint. First one goes out toward McCutcheon in left center. And he handles out number 2. Castro back to second for the Astros pitcher next, and Wandy is 0 for 2 in this game.
Okay, got a little bonus trivia for you.
Okay.
On this date in 1980, Steve Carlton becomes the all-time left-handed strikeout king. He struck out 7 Cardinals. Bring his total to 2,836. Who held the record prior to lefty? Left-handed strikeout record.
I don't know, but I'll just guess Carl Hubbell.
Good guess. No, the answer was Mickey Lolich.
Ooh, yeah. You know, all these stories you're reading now, perhaps, if you're really into baseball, reading about all the dominant pitching this year, a lot of them go back to that 1968 season. Mickey Lolich, Denny McClain, Bob Gibson.
Louis Tia, yeah. Wow. And the year of the pitching so dominant that year that they lowered the mound for the next season.
Off the middle, and Walker bare hands rolls over and can't get the out at second. An infield hit for Wandy Rodriguez. That's his 8th hit of the year.
And valiant effort there by Neil Walker. You see the secondary lead and then the break by Castro. Good hustle. Good try. RBI opportunity now for Michael Bourne.
Wandy now takes over the lead. Houston pitching staff with his 8th hit. He broke a tie with Felipe Paulino. Michael reached on an infield hit, stole a base and scored. And he hit one to right field for a single. 2 runs scored for Michael. He lined out to shortstop in the 4th inning. Just thinking maybe a guy like Michael would be telling himself, hey, I'm going to the All-Star game. I want a big week here. Could be a little motivator for him now that he's been selected for the first time as an All-Star to try to get their batting average up a little bit, have a nice big week. Sometimes players can use short-term things to motivate themselves this time of year.
Well, certainly for veteran players on losing clubs, that's the challenge to come to the ballpark. Obviously, most guys will tell you, yeah, I get paid for a living, and every single night, whether it's a big crowd or not, people are, there's a lot of eyes on you. Take pride in what you do. You shouldn't need any extra motivation, but certainly, again, it's a little bit tougher to get up when you come to the ballpark when you're on a losing club to find that extra energy.
Now 3-0 to Michael.
That's why selfish sometimes is a good thing.
Yeah.
I talk about a selfish player who's worried about his numbers. Well, generally, guys that put up really good numbers they're good for the team too.
Mm-hmm. Michael's looking forward to being out there with Carl Crawford, former Little League teammate.
My concern would be the tip of the hat. You go with the one hand, the tug, you tip it, take it right off, you doff it.
There's a lot to think about.
Yeah.
3-1. Do you write something on the inside of your batting glove?
A little tug of the ear, a la Carol Burnett.
Three and one for Bourne. Keppinger on deck. Bouncer to shortstop, slowly hit Crosby's way. Crosby, quick release, and the dig by Garrett Jones takes care of out number 3. No runs, 2 hits. A couple of men are left, and it's 5-1 Houston through 6.
We're going to take a look at Darrell Ward slamming the first ever home run into the Allegheny River at PNC Park. It happened on this date in 2002. Astros blast the Buccos 10-2, July 6, 2002. There it goes, swing and a drive. It could be, it might be.
It was off Kip Wells.
Wow. I mean, there haven't been many, have there?
No.
I mean, for the longest time, that was the only one.
That's true. Long time. And somebody's ready to make the swim. How can anybody be ready for that if it had never happened before?
Well, there's been a few bounce in, but fly in. We're going to have to research that.
Wandy Rodriguez has set down 8 in a row. He leads it 5-1. Gave up 4 singles in the 4th inning. It's the only inning in which the Pirates have collected a hit. Lasting Smellage leads it off. He's 1 for 2. He got the 4th hit in that inning. Really an unusual top major league inning with 4 singles, only 1 run scoring. And it's ball 1. The Pirates have not hit a homer with anybody on base since June 8th. Now back, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Wandy shooting for win number 6 of the season. Trying to make it 3 wins in his last 3 starts. He beat the Giants here. He beat Milwaukee. Sanchez gets in front of it. Low throw, and Berkman can't hold it. Sanchez positioned himself well for the throw, but that throw just came up short.
Well, that'll be an E6. And Lance will tell you, I want a piece of that one too. I should have bailed him out. Did everything right, just a little low on the throw, and Lance couldn't pick it.
Sanchez draws his first error. Now it's in the air, it's foul, and it's out of play off the bat of Crosby, who's 0 for 2. Darrell Ward has the only ball to land in the river.
There we go.
The only one.
He is the man.
Crosby looks at it. It's a strike, and it's 0-2. Pitcher spot due up next. Wandy has thrown 97 pitches. It's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Jason Castro has done a nice job of coming to the big club, learning the pitchers quickly, and being an effective catcher. Staff ERA with him behind the plate is very good for a few games. 3.43 ERA. Jason as the catcher. Sometimes people make a big deal about that. Sometimes too much so. He's made 10 starts. A little early in his career to draw a whole lot from that, but there are some good compliments being tossed his way. Swing and a miss. And a strikeout for out number 1. 9 strikeouts for Wandy. But the change was made 3 starts ago with Castro catching Wandy, and each start Wandy now Jason has been solid.
Jason doing a nice job there, blocking that breaking pitch in the dirt. Got to be anticipating that ball with 2 strikes. That's the strikeout pitch for Wandy. He pitched a shutout against the Pirates here about a year ago. He struck out 11 in that game. One of his 2 career shutouts. A 5-0 win.
Andy LaRoche is the hitter for Carrasco. 232 his average, 3 homers. He's driven in 13. He's had 198 at bats. Castro scrambles for it. The runner takes off, and no throw as Millage moves over. Trickled away to his left and did his best to get to it, but Millage took off and moved to second base. A wild pitch. It's the 3rd for Rodriguez this year. LaRoche 3 for 11 against Wandy in his career. He made 4 straight starts at second base. Walker had been out with that concussion. Fouled it back. He's moved to second from third. Made 49 starts at third. So Pirates now, with the Pedro Alvarez era beginning, experimented with these other guys at different positions. Good numbers for Wandy tonight.
Andy LaRoche is looking like a utility man or a trade bait right now. The direction the Pirates are going in.
That one cut in on him a little bit, it looked like, and LaRoche didn't come up with anything at all, so the count's 2-2 for Wandy.
Yeah, I don't know. There might have been a slider. It might have been a changeup. Sometimes if you get your hand around the side of the ball a little bit on the changeup, instead of fading down and away from the right-handed hitter as a lefty pitcher, it'll cut in on him. Almost what that looked like.
LaRoche had only 176 in June. And he struck him out. Number 10.
Wandy was dealing.
He struck out 11 twice in his career, as JD mentioned the last time, last July 8th against Pittsburgh. One away from tying his major league high, and he faces Tabata, who's 0 for 3.
Strikeout high for this year is 8. Did that in 5 innings against the Nationals, beginning of June.
First pitch curve works for strike 1.
American League has added Jared Weaver to the All-Star roster to replace CC Sabathia, which essentially is a ceremonial appointment because both of them are scheduled to pitch Sunday.
Right.
So they'll just keep going down the line until they find somebody who can pitch.
Rolled out to short. Sanchez gets Tabata, and it's no runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 left, middle of the 7th inning, 5-1 Astros. Energy. Wandy Rodriguez is pitching a dandy. 7 innings, 1 run, 2 walks, a season high 10 strikeouts. Carlos Lee homered in the first. Lance Berkman homered in the third. It's only the second game this year in which both Lee and Berkman have homered. The other one, June 3rd against Washington here. That was a game when Lee hit the game winner in the ninth. Meanwhile, it's lefty Javier Lopez coming in with the Astros leading at 5-1. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning.
Well, Lopez, the lefty, working for the 38th time. 1 win, 1 loss, 2.67 ERA. Walked almost as many as he struck out, but it really hasn't hurt him much.
DJ Carrasco in 1 inning allowed 2 hits, no runs. He had no walks, 1 strikeout. Jeff Cappinger leads it off against Lopez. Cappinger's 2 for 3 with an RBI tonight. Off the glove of Lopez, and that'll be an infield hit. Pitcher couldn't hold it, and Cappinger's 3 for 4.
So the Astros got the scoring started in the bottom half of the first. Michael Bourne hit a ground ball back to the mound. Brad Lincoln couldn't handle it. Went for an infield hit. Astros are off to the races.
Coors Light Cold Hard Blast comes your way now. There is Lance Berkman. He wraps it around the left field foul pole. Just joining the folks in the front row of the Landry's Crawford boxes. For a 315-foot home run for Lance.
Cold Hard and Blast. Tough synonyms or adjectives to put on that one.
Yeah. Let's see. It wasn't a blast. It wasn't hard. Might have been cold, though. It was very cold to Brad Lincoln.
It's a stone cold blooper.
It is ball one. And Lance has a 3 RBI game going. And now batting right-handed. He homered right-handed in San Diego Sunday. It's 2 balls, no strikes. That came off Wade LeBlanc in the first inning. And it was his first home run of the season as a right-handed batter. He's hitting .220 as a right-handed hitter. Strike for Lopez. That makes it 2-1.
Lopez, for most of his career, has been a lefty specialist with that delivery. Comes in to get a tough lefty out. Sometimes that's about it. Usually significantly more appearances than innings pitched.
Three and one. Worked the scoreless 9th inning Saturday against the Phillies. Lopez was drafted by Arizona in '98. Been to the Red Sox and Rockies, Padres and White Sox. 3-2. Good to see Russ Springer again. He had a lot of unifying effect on the Astros bullpen when he was here. Lee on deck. It's tap foul. It's Texas 6, Cleveland 1. Rangers just got 3 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Josh Hamilton hit his 21st homer. Mason Nix, number 5 for the Tribe, who beat the Rangers last night. Second baseman there. Walker with a toss. Crosby the middleman on a 4-6-3 double play.
Has Josh Hamilton kept his hitting streak alive?
Yeah.
Wow. You know, that home run he hit off Roy Oswald up in Arlington, they originally said it was 468 feet, but they brought in some experts to recalculate it. Now they're saying it was 490 feet or something like that. The longest home run ever hit in the ballpark.
That was a monster. Carlos hit his to left center field in the first inning when the Astros took a 2-0 lead. He's 1 for 3. Hamilton's 2 for 3 tonight. His average is up to 343. There's strike one. Justin Masterson got the call tonight for the Indians, with C.J. Wilson pitching well tonight for Texas. Rangers have a 3.5 game lead over the Angels right now. Rip foul. Watch out in the Pirate dugout.
They're waving the white towel, boys.
That's scary. Oh yeah. Delman Young there. His heart was fluttering. Delman Young's done a good job pinch hitting for the Pirates this year. It's 1-2.
John Russell had the advantage of turning Lance Berkman around, but other than that, it's been a tough matchup for Lopez facing Keppinger, who wears out left-handers. And now Carlos.
Bouncer over the mound and on through it to center despite Crosby's best attempt to make the play. Lee is 2 for 4.
Man, he went down hard, face planted, landed awkwardly. Might have hurt his neck.
That's 11 hits for the Astros.
Watch Crosby here. Talk about selling out, trying to make a play for your pitcher. You got to love the effort.
Yeah.
But look, and then he rolls over on his shoulder. At the end there, it looks like he's okay. He's tough. Like Izzy Mandelbaum.
Izzy Mandelbaum?
Mandelbaum.
Hunter Pence is 1 for 3. That one goes deep to center. McCutcheon churning way back up toward Towles Hill. That ball up halfway on the hill. Lee around third. Pence pulls up at second. Relay from Crosby to the plate. Not in time, and it's 6-1.
Almost in time.
El Caballo almost stopped for water. Barely made it home ahead of that relay. An RBI double by Pence, his 38th run batted in.
It's hot in here tonight. And this ball really crushed. Nice to see Hunter rewarded. He hit the ball really well last time. Up, flew out to right. And Carlos running hard and running well. But somewhere right about here, he hits a wall.
CJ telling him to get down. He is gassed.
And Carlos will tell you, hey, it's not a matter of being safe by a lot. It's just safe.
Well, Norris helping him out a little bit. 23,210 is the paid attendance. We saw the galloping guy from left field barely make it home. And it's 6-1 on 12 hits for the Astros. Johnson looks for his first hit of the night. Castro on deck.
That's where, when you're coming down that third baseline like that towards home plate, you can't look at the catcher. You got to find your on-deck hitter who's going to let you know what to do, because the catcher's going to deke you. He's going to stand there like there's no shot. The ball's not coming.
Casey Daigle's warming up for Houston. He's not pitched in a while. One ball, 2 strikes. Javier Lopez. Giants lead the Brewers 5-0. They're in the middle of the 7th inning at Milwaukee. Madison Bumgarner on the mound for San Francisco against Randy Wolf. Brewers split that 4-game series in St. Louis.
The home run derby contestants are starting to line up.
Who do you have?
David Ortiz, Miguel Cabrera, Robinson Cano, Vernon Wells so far from the American League. The National League is Corey Hart and Matt Holliday. Josh Hamilton has said he will not do it, as has Albert Pujols.
Ground ball in the hole, backhanded. Crosby. Overthrow to get Johnson. The Astros tack on a run on 3 hits. They strand a man, and it's 6-1 Houston, moving to the 8th.
December, not quite yet. Through July 8th, you can vote for the 34th and final player for each league's roster. Do it at Astros.com. One for the American League, one for the National League. And here are the list of candidates in the NL. Heath Bell, Carlos Gonzalez, Joey Votto, Billy Wagner, Ryan Zimmerman.
Jason Michaels takes over in left field for Carlos Lee after El Caballo galloped home on the double by Pence. He was 2 for 4. Drove in a run and scored 2. Wilton Lopez is 3-0. His ERA 3.86. He takes over in the 8th against Neil Walker. Walker's 0 for 2 with a walk. That's ball 1. Wandy Rodriguez in 7 innings allowed 4 hits, 1 run to the Pirates. He walked 2. They were both in the first inning, and fanned 10 for a season high in strikeouts.
How about Wandy tonight? Walked 2 in the first inning, second and third batters of the ball game, and you're thinking, uh-oh. And that was it. Didn't walk anybody after that. Punched out 10. Well, he's really showing signs of turning his season around.
He threw 107 pitches, 72 for strikes. 2 balls and a strike, and could be the winner of his 3rd consecutive start. The Astros hang on to this lead. There's a liner to the gap in left center field. Michael's over. Michael Bourne watches it roll, and Michael picks it up. It's a double for Walker, his 9th of the year. First Pirate hit since the 4th.
Great swing of the bat there, and a good approach for a left-handed hitter against Lopez. Wilton's ball has that running and sinking action down and away, so you want to try to hit that ball the opposite way. Nice short stroke, extends through it, and a leadoff double here for the Bucks.
Their first extra base hit of the night, and now it's McCutchen. McCutchen's 1 for 2 with a walk. Way outside, ball 1. Wilton Lopez worked 2/3 of an inning Sunday at San Diego, allowing no hits, no runs. Big scoreless ball, getting 1 out on Friday.
The key here is just don't start kicking the ball around and don't walk people. They do not have a lot of power in their lineup, so highly unlikely unless you create some openings for them that the Pirates are going to come back down 5 with 6 outs to play with. Highly unlikely any club is going to do it. Certainly a club like Pittsburgh that doesn't hit many home runs. It's a tougher hill for them to climb.
Lopez deals a strike, and it's 1-1.
They just don't help him up the hill. Boy, Santana, man tonight for the Mets. Complete game shutout and hit a home run. 3-hitter, and it's 100 degrees in New York today.
Yeah. Really hot on the Eastern Seaboard.
And he did that against the Cincinnati Reds with all that firepower.
He really stepped it up. And the Mets have been survivors despite all the many injuries they've had. They have not gone away. They're now 47-37. Started the night 2 behind Atlanta. Now it would appear they're going to start getting people back. Carlos Beltran among them here in the next few weeks. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Stephen Brand's Game Magazine, the commemorative issue, number 3 of the 5 the Astros have for sale this year, features Hunter Pence on the cover. An article on him and the personalities of the 80s. When you come out, you can buy it for $4 at the ballpark. Strike 3. McCutchen is caught looking, and Wilton Lopez gets out number 1.
McCutchen got caught in between here. Looking for something soft, I think, and just couldn't get the bat started. That good heater.
Now Brad Mills has lefty Tim Burdack warmed up. Lefty hitting Jones and Alvarez, and then the switch hitter Domet in line. We'll talk to Lopez and take the ball from him and pass it along to Burdack in just a moment with the score 6-1 Houston. well, and they're here every Tuesday night. And the people who come out every Wednesday night have really been treated, JD, the way this club has played on Wednesdays this year.
Yeah, but clearly one of the best Wednesday teams in all of baseball. They really step it up. So it's crazy.
9 straight on Wednesdays.
Guaranteed win night.
Yeah. Tim comes in with Garrett Jones, the batter. He's 0 for 3.
Tim, over the last 3 or 4 years, been very effective at neutralizing left-handed hitters. A couple due up here for the Buccos.
And Jones takes that pitch on the corner for strike 1. Jones, an everyday player now, and he is hitting .259 against lefties. 112 at bats this year. 3 homers. Hangs it up the middle and on into center field. That'll be an RBI single with Walker scoring to make it 6-2. Jones delivering his 51st batted in.
And Jones 0 for 3 prior to that swing of the bat, but he had good at bats. Kept trying to hit the ball to center field. Last time he hit it on the line. Michael Bourne came in and made a nice catch on him. And stays with that up the middle approach, and this time he's rewarded for it. RBI knock.
Pedro Alvarez is 1 for 3. He singled in the 4th inning. Sandwiched around that hit are a couple of strikeouts. He looks at strike 1 with Chris Sampson warming up for Houston. Wilton Lopez in 1/3 of an inning allowed 1 hit, 1 run with no walks, and he struck out 1.
Alvarez tonight off Wandy was having a hard time keeping that front side in when he threw him the breaking ball. Now Burdack has the jump on him. If they go back to that slider off the plate down and away, they can take a shot with the fastball first and then come back.
1-2 to Alvarez. Dolan will be next. 2-2. Burdack has not given up a run in his last 11 appearances. He spent some time on the DL. Hamstring strain. Been very effective since the beginning of the 07 season. Left-handed hitters are hitting .169 against him. It up. Michaels is calling in left center field. 2 outs. And Doman will be next. Doman with the RBI single in the 4th inning is 1 for 3. Burdack delivers, and there's strike 1.
Braves have dropped a 3 spot on the Phillies in the top half of the 11th. Still batting. 6-3 Braves lead now.
The Braves had that long losing streak, and ever since then they snapped out of it and been consistent winners. No balls, 2 strikes.
And they got a good start out of Jair Jurgens tonight. Talk about the Phillies having interest in Cliff Lee.
That worked out last time.
Yeah, it did. And I don't know if it's assumed that Cliff Lee will be traded by the Mariners, but I think most people would bet on it. But boy, as good as he is, with Felix Hernandez out there, he could do a lot of winning. This is starting. I know they're not having a good year now. But I'd be hesitant to break that up.
Exactly, because there's next year to plan for, and if they thought they could sign him.
To me, the best way to fix a bad team is just put a couple stud starting pitchers at the top of the rotation and kind of fill in as you go.
Well, they're 14 under 500 right now. But yeah, if he leaves the scene, who's going to pitch those innings?
It's $150 million. What's that? It's nothing. Chump change.
1 ball and 2 strikes.
Actually, the free agent market has tightened up the last couple of years.
So you think he'll go for maybe 125 instead of 150?
I just don't think the years are going to be there.
Yeah, you're right.
I think clubs will, especially with pitching, because of the injury factor. I think, I don't think you get more than 4 years. I mean, I think a club would try to sign him to a 3-year deal. He might get 4. There are going to be options and incentives and things like that in the deal.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of clubs are under long-term deals now with some of their current players. That may not have worked out too well, so that might cause them to shy away from extending too far out.
Andy Pettit's going to be an all-star now, too.
Yeah. Well, the original plan was that he was going to take the place of Sabathia, who was going to pitch on Sunday. So Joe Girardi had already worked this out, that I think he told both pitchers, well, CC, I'm going to name you to the team, but you're pitching Sunday, so you can't participate, and then I'll name Andy to replace you. And then somebody else got hurt, so Andy was named for that pitcher. And now you said Weaver's been named to replace Sabathia.
He can't pitch either.
Well, a lot of guys who are planning on taking a nice little vacation may be packing for Anaheim. The way these guys are getting hurt and are pitching on Sunday, so people who were a little dejected that they were not named to the team might be going. Tim Burdack, for instance, he's kind of a jokester, JD, you know that.
Mm-hmm. Left-handed.
He was saying in San Diego right before the team was named, I'm busy over the All-Star break. I won't be able to make that trip. I've got a lot of plans.
He's probably thinking home run derby too. I figured he could help out a little bit there.
Remember the year Gary Templeton came out and he said, if I'm not starting, I'm not departing.
Mm-hmm.
So he would only go if he were in the starting lineup.
He felt like he had been snubbed.
Well, not too many invitations to that particular event are turned down. Still 2-2 to Domet. Burdack and Castro trying to figure out how many pitches have they thrown to this guy. This will be the 11th pitch coming. How do we get him out?
A BP fastball.
Chris Sampson is at work. Brad Mills was talking before the game about Casey Daigle. He had not pitched for several days for Round Rock before he got called up. Broken bat. It goes out to shortstop. Sanchez with the throw to first. They get Domet. And the Pirates get a run on 2 hits and strand a man in the 8th inning. It's 6-2 Astros. There's Jenny and Ace, and Casey Daigle might get in this game. It is 6-2. The Astros batting now, bottom of the 8th inning. And it'll be Brendan Donnelly going for the Pirates. He throws a lot of leg at the hitter, JD.
Yeah, he got a very funky delivery. So far this year, through 29 ball games, he's 3-1 with an ERA up around 6. Control an issue for sure. He's got more walks than strikeouts, and just about a walk per inning pitched. He's been a survivor. Brendan Donnelly came up with the Angels in 2002, was there through 2006, and then time with Boston in 2007, a cup of coffee with Cleveland in 2008, 30 games with Florida last year, and now finds himself with the Pirates.
Facing Jason Castro, who has a single and a walk in 3 trips. Donnelly delivers ball 1. Javier Lopez in 1 inning allowed 3 hits, 1 run with no walks, no strikeouts. Donnelly is pitcher number 4. Native of Washington, D.C. Fastball hit in the air on the left side. Alvarez calling. And out for Donnelly. Donnelly did have quite an ERA for Florida last year, 1.78.
That's since a 158 mark back in 2003. He was an all-star that year with Anaheim, working as a setup man. 27th round pick by the White Sox in '92, so a long time in the minor leagues before breaking in with Anaheim.
Sanchez takes it. It's strike 1. He's 0 for 3. Pitcher spot due up next. Not anymore. Jason Michaels in the game now. It was a double switch. So Michaels is batting 9th, and the pitcher's in the number 4 spot. Foul back. 0-2 to Sanchez. Donnelly spent some downtime this year on the disabled list with a strained left side muscle in late April.
He was around Rock a little bit, wasn't he, a couple years ago?
He was. I think it was last year. And they didn't call him up, and he had an out in his contract, so the Marlins pounced on him. And he did some outstanding work for them. A lot of guys who have been around the game a long time will sign a AAA deal with the out clause in there. If I'm not called up by such and such a date, then I can be a free agent. And he had one of those. So he wound up with a 3-0 record and a 1.78 ERA for Florida last year. Sanchez down on strikes, 2 outs for Donnelly. And it's Jason Michaels now. Jason's been in a very nice place with his hitting recently. In the San Diego series, he was 4 for 10. He hit .316 on the road trip, 6 hits and 19 at bats, including a couple of homers to get to those numbers for the season. That's ball 1. Jason has started 15 games, and with that performance, he rates a pretty good amount of playing time, I would think, in the second half. Last 3 games represented there. Brad Mills likes to use all of his players. And while Jason isn't the typical fleet-footed center fielder of the nature of Michael Bourne or an Andrew McCutchen, he can play center field fine, and that gives the manager the flexibility to be able to play him at all 3 outfield positions.
Yeah, very versatile. Not the only thing that would make him more versatile would be if he were a switch hitter, but can't have everything. Play all the outfield positions, play them well. Gives you good AB off the bench, and he's pretty good when he gets a start, too. One of the few Astros really swinging it well on the road trip.
2-1 to count. The Astros hit 186 in the San Diego series, 238 on the road trip. Bourne's on deck. Michaels has really battled this year. He's had a number of good at bats, working to count as he is here, 3-1. Baltimore 5, Detroit 5. They've played 9 now in Detroit. Miguel Cabrera hit number 21. Michaels takes a walk with 2 outs. And that's nice work. Michael Bourne singled and scored his first 2 times up in the first and third innings. He's 2 for 4.
Sometimes you can tell more about a hitter when he walks than you do when he swings. Michael, if Jason had been pressing, struggling a little bit, he might have attacked that pitch and popped it up. But he's seeing the ball very well right now, and real good game plan when he goes to the plate. 3-1 count there. I'm sure he was looking for one pitch in one spot. Well, if I don't get it, I'll take it. And he'll work his way on base.
Being held on by Garrett Jones as Bourne bats. Texas is ripping Cleveland now 11-1. They're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Vladimir Guerrero chimed in with his 19th homer. Nelson Cruz belted number 11. Madison Bumgarner has been shutting out Milwaukee all night long. Now it's 6-0 Giants, top of the 9th inning at Miller Park. Strike 1 on Bourne. The Cardinals are here over the weekend. Cardinals neck and neck with the Reds atop the NL Central. Cincinnati leading St. Louis by 2 games entering play tonight. But the Reds took it on the chin at New York to Mr. Santana. Fouled away, and it's 0-2.
Think about Donnelly's long sojourn through the minor leagues. He's been released 8 times in his career. He was released when Tampa called up Jim Morris, the teacher. The teacher. They made the movie about the rookie.
Yeah, didn't know that. That was a good story. Michaels draws the throw. It's one of those true life stories that you figured would make a movie, and it made a good one.
If not for that one, they might have made the Chris Sampson movie.
That's true. Cappinger's on deck. Ooh, that was a tough pitch. Donnelly striking out Bourne, and it's no runs, no hits, a couple of strikeouts, and a man left. It's 6-2 Astros after 8. Astros. They started out with 2 in the first. Jenny Finch was overseas, we heard, playing some softball recently. Now she's back.
Shooting inside the park home run, Brownie.
Where was that?
I don't know, some World Cup event.
Okay.
I think she did it against Uruguay or somebody.
Chris Sampson's in the game now with a 6-2 lead. He's 1-0. His ERA is 6.00.
Somewhere over there blowing vuvuzelas.
Delwyn Young comes out of the on-deck circle to pinch hit. The hitter right now is Lastings Millage. Millage is 1 for 3. Sampson hits the corner. There's strike 1. Tim Burdack in 2/3 of an inning. Allowed 1 hit, no runs, with no walks, no strikeouts. And the slider just off the plate. Nope. Check the swing, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike on the Jeff Nelson call. Sampson is pitcher number 4 for the Astros tonight. Up the right field line and foul. Chris got the win Thursday night in San Diego, his first of the year. The Astros took that one in the 10th inning, 6-3. He came in with the game tied 3-3 in the 9th and pitched a scoreless, hitless inning. I'm glad they stayed. Rip, play by Johnson. Tremendous play by Chris Johnson, diving to his right.
Well, CJ 0 for 4 tonight. And be able to get it done with the bat, but how about a little glove work? Ball headed for the corner for extra bases. Not so fast. Laying out. To rob the penalty kick. It was headed for the back of the net.
Gorgeous play. Now pinch hitting for Crosby. It's going to be Delwyn Young. Switch hitter's done well pinch hitting. And he hits this one out to second base. Keppinger takes care of out number 2. Pirates down to their final out. And Ryan Church comes up. Pitcher spot due up. Donnelly leaving after 1 inning, allowing no hits, no runs. Walking 1 and fanning 2. And Church, a 193 hitter for 145 at bats, has 3 homers. He's driven in 14, and as a pinch hitter, you see the numbers, 2 for 14. The Astros trying to make it a 4-0 record against the Pirates. Sampson delivers strike 1 to Church. It's 1-1. Astros a game and a half in front of Pittsburgh in the standings coming into this game tonight. It's foul, and these 2 teams will be seeing a lot of each other here the next few days. 1-2.
Well played, young man.
Yeah. Atlanta beat the Phillies in the 11th, 6-3. Swing and a miss, and Sampson gets the final out via strikeout. The Astros winning at 6-2. They are 4-0 against Pittsburgh. They start the 6-game homestand with a very well-pitched game. Wandy Rodriguez goes to 6-10 with a win tonight, JD.
Astros scored 2 in the first inning and then a 3-run third inning. That's all they needed for sure, as Wandy was in complete control. Had 1 wobbly inning. A punched out 10, a season high for him, and 3 W's in a row now for the left-hander.
Final score, Houston 6, Pittsburgh 2. Back in a moment.